Hello, everybody. I am setting up to participate with Shimelle's Best of Both Worlds scrapbooking kit project. And if you don't know what that is, I will have links to Shimelle's blog and also to kind of the information about this project. Basically, what she does is sets up a shopping list at scrapbook.com, and you can be inspired by her shopping list. If you choose to shop these items, you certainly can, either here or somewhere else. And if you don't want to buy anything, you don't have to. And that's kind of the beauty of this project, is that it can be budget friendly for anybody who needs to consider that. So here is her shopping list. Now I'm going to go through each item individually. And I know already some items like this alphabet stamp set and an ink pad. I already have plenty of those things at home. I don't need to buy more. I don't do a lot of Halloween scrapbooking. We do celebrate Halloween, but I prefer everyday scrapbooking, and so I don't tend to buy themed items very heavily. So I'm going to skip that. So anyway, here is her shopping list. So let's go ahead, and I've organized things a little bit by items. So we're going to start first with embellishments. I had some of these Let's Wander ephemera in a previous kit from another company that I purchased, so I'm not going to purchase those. And then here's a sticker pack from the same collection. I don't have any of these stickers, but quite honestly, I have played with some of this collection already, and I just might want to move on to some other items. Next up here is an American Crafts Late Afternoon collection. So what inspired me about this actually was the copper foil. So I think what I'm going to do is go through my supplies and either pull out some embossing copper products, or perhaps my heat transfer foil products in copper colors. Copper used to be my favorite metallic for a long time, and I always hated gold, and then gold kind of exploded and blew up, and I kind of shifted my mindset on gold. And so I don't have a lot of copper right now, so it would be fun to go back and play with an old favorite. And then here's some more of that with copper. Here is some P13 circular embellishments. I have some P13 products, so I might look through my P13 stash and see what I've got. This is definitely holiday, autumn themed. I do have a supply of like simple stories, autumn, holiday, Thanksgiving kind of theme, so I might dig through that. But with these circles, I really do like circles, so what I might do is just pull out some circle punches or circle die set and kind of build my own embellishments. Now, when I played along with this kit project last month, I didn't feel like I had enough embellishments. I relied very heavily on some cut apart sheets, and it didn't make me happy. So I want to avoid that mistake this month. So I do want to pull in some die cuts. I do want to pull in some ways to build some cool embellishment pieces. I do want to pull out possibly some stickers. So I'm going to think really heavily about how I want to do embellishing this month. And I know like twine and things are not in this supply list, but having some of those textural elements, I think I want to pull in here too. I might be inspired to do that based on theme or color, something like that. Now here's an alphabet set. I probably have a green alphabet set in my stash somewhere. Here is a smaller alphabet set. I'm likely to pull items that I recently purchased. Enamel dots, I have plenty of those. I don't need to buy any more. And then we're moving into the papers. This first paper is a bird paper, and I recently cleaned up my space, and I put away a paper, not this one, but another paper that was very prominently birds, and I love it. And honestly, I'm really not sure how to use it. So this might be the chance to pull it out and figure out how to use that paper. And then we have some grids, some pinks and florals. And again, when I was cleaning up, I found a cool matte print that was actually a pink tone, not this kind of yellowy orange tone. So I'll probably pull that out. We've got some cut apart sheets. I know I will have some cut aparts in my kit. I just don't know what. And then we've got, this looks like some more cut aparts. I do have some Pink Fresh stuff in my stash, so I might go to them. But I'm kind of inspired by this blue plaid, so we'll see where that goes. I love this wine red color. It's not a color I use a lot, but it definitely is popping at me. I don't know if I can find anything along those lines. So definitely moving into fall, I could find some stuff along that line. Here we go, more floral and fall colors. Cameras, I think I actually might have just purchased this exact camera print, so I will go through my camera print papers and see if I still have that in there. I had a sheet of this from a previous kit. I might have a little left. I don't think I do, but again, I might just go with the plaid kind of theme or some cooler floral colors. Very bold autumnal color palette here. I did just buy some Vicky Bouton, and I believe it's from the Let's Wander collection that is kind of crisscrossy stripes in these bold colors. So I think I'm going to pull that out. Here's more florals in autumnal colors. And then this is more of a watercolor flow. And then this is a Heidi Swapp old school collection. This is a perforated cardstock sheet. So I think what I'm going to go with this one is just to pull out some cardstock colors that coordinate. So let me go dig through my stash and show you what I've come up with and see how it relates to all of this inspiration. So getting started with the kit build, I pulled out this Simple Stories textured cardstock pack. It actually has a subtle polka dot print to it, and that is a nice range of colors to go with where I end up flowing with this kit selection. And then I looked at various cut aparts, and that first one there with the florals was a P13 product. I did have a Vicky Bouton cut apart, and then I've got two of these Simple Story cut aparts, which give me a range of vibes that I was picking up from the inspiration. And so when we're moving on to the regular pattern paper, I could not find the camera print I thought I had. So I pulled out camera prints that I thought would work, and one is a partial sheet, and that's okay because I tend to cut them apart anyway. And then I went with some general soft patterns that could work with various parts of this kit. Now that blue is a little off, but it works for the other set of fall embellishments there. So I think it'll be okay across the range of ideas that I've got going on here, with a little bit of fall, a little bit of softer colors, and then a little bit of these bolder colors. So I did mix and match my inspiration this time around. And then moving on to some of the other pattern papers, here are pieces that incorporate the bolder colors, and yet they could still work with the softer colors. So these two patterns here have multifunctionality to them in this kit and help bridge the gap between things that don't seem to fit together. And again, these two pieces here, I think those are crepe paper collections. They have fall motifs to them. They have a little bit of those fall tonal colors with the blues and golds, but they are soft enough to work across the entire collection. And then I definitely wanted some neutrals also to help bridge the gap between the two collections. And so I went with this kind of craft heart and then some black. And here is a more teal piece, and I'm having a hard time fitting it across the collections. But in the end, it worked with a few things, so I decided to go ahead and keep it in this kit. And because it is a richer color, it can work with those. See there, I'm pointing out those fall tones, I think work okay together. So it's a little bit richer than some of the other pieces, but I think it still works. And then this is a soft watercolor piece that I think works for different things. Now these three pieces are from my P13 stash, which I mentioned having, and I really like the texture of that green. It does have florals on the back that go with this cut apart sheet, but I'm going to use the green side. And then the matte print that I told you that I had, I didn't realize was P13. And this piece I just like because it incorporates a lot of those colors and it has a cool homey feel with all those doors to it. So those are the P13 pieces that I found to include in this kit. And here I'm just kind of sorting things by kind of tone and mood and a little bit of color. So moving on to one other element that was in the inspiration, which was a bird print. Now I could not find the print that I thought I had, and I'm worried I'm kind of misremembering things, but I did find a whole bunch of bird prints that I didn't realize I had in my stash. So many birds. So I looked through these 4 different bird papers, and I decided that the blue birds were not quite the tone and mood that I wanted. And so I kept these softer birds here. And now I know I've played with these in various ways before without actually having used them. So we'll see if I can get them used up this time. So here you can see the tones that I have in my cardstock work really well with tones across the different pattern paper collections that I chose here. And some of these tones there in the middle help bridge the gap between the different moods, again, of all of these pieces. So while not every piece works with every other piece, across the collection, things fit together. So moving on to the embellishments. Now, I was inspired because of the crafty elements that I pulled out as some of my neutrals, and because it's fall, I wanted to go with some very earthy feel. So I pulled out a cork and a wood grain alphabet set, and then that inspired me to go to my materials bin and pull out some interesting materials. So that's a cork sheet and kind of a crepe paper sheet, and I have more of that, so I won't necessarily just stick with that small piece. And I did bring in some natural twine, and I do have my copper embossing powder, and then a couple of extra small alphas to mix and match with the larger alphas. And then I did pull out a whole bunch of the Simple Stories fall collection. And in here is some more alphas. And then I was really impressed because it had a lot of circle elements that was matching quite well with the inspiration piece, even though it's not the same line at all. And then some ephemera pieces from Simple Stories. Now, these are two different autumn collections that they did last year. I think one is called Fall Farmhouse and one is called Harvest Splendor. And so these pieces I'm just mixing and matching from both of those collections. And you can see here that some of these cut apart sheets came from that collection. And then I had the Vicki Boutin cut apart sheet that kind of has the colors that work with fall and everyday life. And then these pieces here had the much more softer kind of everyday life collection. Those two sticker sheets are actually P13 also. The lighter blue one is an alpha set. And so with those softer colors combined with the bolder fall collections, I pulled out this stamp and die set that will be for labels. And I think what I'm going to do with that is stamp the labels with the copper color and use this copper to really create some of these embellishments that will be layer building elements to this kit. And I may even emboss some of these floral elements to give myself the crossover with the copper between the autumnal colors and the more pastel-y colors. So that is my plan for this kit this month, and I hope you come back at the end of the month because I will have a project share video to show you how I used the bits and pieces from this kit. I really appreciate you watching. If you got something helpful out of this video, please do give it a like. That helps my channel. And if you want to catch my future videos, please subscribe.